hatch, genius.
Oh! You guys should be comedians or something, eh?
The stylish turbocharged Corolla hatch with reverse camera, wireless charging, and world-class safety features. Corolla has it all.
The Premier Soccer League is proud to present football entertainment at its best. The DSTV Premiership. Electrifying, energetic, thrilling, sensational. The DSTV Premiership. Babize Bonke.
Hello and a very warm welcome from Pietermaritzburg, the city painted in the slowly fading sunlight, a fairly brisk breeze taking the edge off what has been a characteristically sweltering day in the province's bustling capital. It's a battle in the basement of the DSTV Premiership, coming to you from KwaZulu-Natal's capital today as Maritzburg United go toe-to-toe with fellow strugglers Chakumucha Matibandila at the Harry Gwala Stadium. So an extremely valuable 3 points on offer today. The sides in action have only 9 points apiece, and both are resigned to stay in the bottom three of the division, even if they were to get a win here today. But you absolutely have to take points from your nearest competitors in these kind of scenarios, a fact that both these sides will know well. Maritzburg and TTM's respective league form has been pretty dismal, but both actually come into this game on the back of Nedbank Cup triumphs. Maritzburg saw Sekhukhune United 2-1. Their visitors shocked Supersport United. Incidentally, that was not enough to save Joel Masuta's job. The TTM are a side in transition, a new owner installed, hoping that his sizable investment ultimately proves fruitful. So the side will have to save their status as we near the halfway point of this campaign. Both of these outfits about to play their 15th game of this DSTV Premiership season. So the two sides have assembled now on the pitch, lining up, and we'll have an opportunity to look at how Maritzburg line up today. 5 changes from the side that defeated Sekhukhune in the Cup. Nazir Ali and Clayton Daniels return to the fold. They are the centre-half partnership. Bandile Shandu is in at right full-back. Dalen Klaassen also makes a return, as does Travis Graham today in the heart of midfield. The team of choice assembling for their customary pre-match team photograph. Their opponents today, TTM, have made 3 changes from the side that beat Supersport United. Is Rilani Manzini, Eke Manaka and Mishak Mapangule, who have been withdrawn. Oh, sorry, Brian, we're into the formations for Maritzburg.
Experienced players, Clayton Daniels, Nazir Ali, that's solid. Keegan Buchanan and Graham. You have Golani playing on that left-hand side, led by the key man in Tabiso Kutumela and Judas Musia Mehdi.
I've already mentioned the players who are out for TTM, but coming in are Nicholas Lukubeni, Temesani Nebulamba, and the Zimbabwean Edwin Baranaga, who is making his debut for the club today. So a big moment for him.
The team that has actually brought in some experienced players, and they've got to try and fuse them in with a variety of that. Dengani brings in that experience. The last line of defense in terms of Arubi, he is key for them. Look out for the combination of Mulangwani and team to try and link up with Mnyamani.
Ernst Middendorp not giving much away from his facial expressions on the touchline. He knows how crucial this game is. And for TTM, Bomaleka is the assistant coach of Chakumucha Matibandile, standing in today whilst they wait to install a permanent coach. Now the players have assembled around the centre circle for a moment of silence. That moment to pause and reflect breaks for a round of applause from the players and the technical team as to recognize the work, the efforts of our frontline workers. Just confirming your officials today. Lutolo Pari is the man in charge. Max Molelekwa and Guabani Mokwena will be running the lines, assisting him. And of course, Mr. Badi has been in the spotlight for his officiating in the Soweto derby, but he is amongst the more capable referees in the country, still a young man, and no doubt that he would have learned from that particular outing. So about to hit the 15-game mark. Both of these sides have only 9 points from the previous 14 games that they have played, and they are resigned to a spot in the bottom 3 today, so there's no way either can get out, but TTM are capable of leapfrogging their hosts today if they were able to get a win. Well, the sun will begin to set as this match wears on, and a pretty bright sunlight now. The light on this Friday will eventually beam down. And we know in the past how dangerous Maritzburg United have been under lights. That's a record that come to an end a couple of months ago. Their last match on a Friday night was a draw with Stellenbosch. They're looking to re-establish their dominance on this particular day of the week as they get us underway, kicking from right to left in their blue and white strip. Well, it's a pleasure to have you alongside me, Brian. This is a very intriguing matchup. At the bottom of the table, it's, as Ernst Middendorp said, probably their biggest game of the season. Would you agree?
Well, I'll take from what Pomaleka said. He says it's a dog-eat-dog. And I can understand why, because there's a lot at stake. Both teams, sniffing relegation, under pressure to perform and be consistent in how they perform. It's going to be crucial on how they do it. There is confidence on the side of Chakuma. They beat amongst the contenders for the league super spot.
Yep.
So they're pretty much high in terms of confidence. Not too high though, but they're starting to believe.
Dan Morgan whips that one in, has broken to the edge of the area where Dalen Klaassen just try and clean things up. He's dispensed it out to the right-hand side where a rather poor cross has eventually materialized. Well, you mentioned that that win against Supersport United. TTM, I'm sure, would have much preferred to have got a victory in the league. They'll take it for what it was, progression to the last 16 of the Nedbank Cup, and what you would imagine would be a significant confidence boost coming into this one. Maritzburg, on the flip side, they won against Sekhukhune, but they had to fight really hard against one of the Glad African Championships high flyers. Now the powerful Judas Musiamedi looking to link up with one of his teammates, a little bit isolated out wide, and eventually he's let the ball slip away from his feet. TTM now in control with Alfred Ngane.
You look at the players they have in the midfield. Team was part of this Maritzburg team, so he's playing in the midfield, very astute in terms of his passing game. Mulangwane, it's an opportunity for him to show what he can do. Very skillful player, good touches, good to see him back in the field.
Going to be interesting to see how Miguel Tim performs against his former club. Was here for 2 seasons, so he called the Harry Gwala Stadium home, made 33 league appearances for the team of choice. This is Clayton Daniels, one of their newer acquisitions.
I think that position, in the absence of Dirouk, he comes in with a wealth of experience alongside another, experienced player in Nazir Ali. So that is better communication, organization at the back. And I think the man on the left-hand side, Morgan, is also key to link up with Tolani.
Getting forward here now, Maritzburg United. Nice little exchange of passes. And actually, Pandile Shandu, who is not able to locate Tabiso Kutumelo, who is calling for it. It's Tolani, who's misplaced his pass now. Some work to do for the defense of Maritzburg United. Tibisani Nebulamba has found a good ball out to Thabo Mnyamane. Now he'll be waiting for teammates to arrive. He's driven into the box, laying it back, and in the end that's a rather tame effort. It was easily dealt with.
At this stage, it's about how you defend, and defending as a unit, attack as a unit as well. You've got to be concentrating at all times. When Mari's back, they're playing with two up front. There's this man, Judas Musiamedi, and that key man that they have in Thabiso Kutumela. Tolani as well gives them the support on the left-hand side. Interesting to have Shandu starting more of a wing back, because he's got the support from Nazir Ali.
It's a clever ball, slipped through. Thabiso Kutumela was the man to latch onto it, and he's won his side a corner kick here.
Was tracked down by a man which I think he's pretty much switched on, understands the system and some of the qualities and the danger some of these former teammates has, because he tracked down Thabiso Kutumela.
Easily dealt with. Keegan Buchanan will be looking to do a little better in terms of his deliveries later in the game. Certainly know that he's capable of better. Now, big cry for handball inside the area there. Maritzburg United players seem to believe, I think, that Miguel Tim may have been the perpetrator. It's Dan Morgan now. It's picked up by Travis Graham. Up to Nazir Ali. Graham just slotting between the two centre halves as they look to dictate play here. Maritzburg United. It's a misplaced pass from Clayton Daniels, and Engelhardt has had to come off his line and deal with that. The German goalkeeper, new recruit, played in the cup, but really looking to establish himself as far as the league goes.
Well, you can tell he's got the confidence. He's also showing signs of being pretty much comfortable, knocking the ball around. As we know, these days it's all about building from the back.
Well, this is a DStv Premiership debut for the German, but did play in the cup last time out. Would have liked to keep a clean sheet, not capable of doing so though. See the late goal there as Kutumela drives towards goal, and his effort from a rather tricky angle has just taken a touch off a defender. So another corner and a chance for Keegan Buchanan perhaps to make amends with a better delivery.
He makes a good run. Look at how he just sneaks in between the two players. Awkward angle, but he believed in his technique, and it was on target and forced a save out of that man who did well in that instance, Ruby.
Actually didn't see the touch. A good save in the end by Ruby. Now Clayton Mendel not giving much away at this point about how he feels his side have started.
It's interesting, you call him a veteran centre back, because when he started, just like Slatrayo, started playing on this as a fullback. Nazir Ali, but ended up as a fullback. Nazir Ali as a centre back, and you look at Slatrayo as a right back.
Well utilised in that position. You might say it would have been a little bit of a waste.
But I guess when you come from the Ajax School of Education, you've got to be versatile. And if you look at defensive midfield, that you're a centre back at Cape Town City now.
Well, they're all Cape Town centre half pairing will have to be at their best right now. More than 70 years on this earth between the two men who occupy the heart of defence for Maritzburg. It's been not right now. More than 70 years on this earth between 13 against Amazulu by 13 against Amazulu by Ernst Middendorp, the man in the
interesting scenario, because if you look at Mzovu, Shandu, Makaringe, that's a generation that was introduced by Ernst Middendorp, but he left. The man that got them to blossom to the players they became, and himself was mentored by Ernst Middendorp.
Now a couple of them still playing under Frederick David's assistant though.
And they're beginning to become regulars in Zovo's. I think the last few games he's being on the starting lineup, Makaringe as well. Leboha Mabue from the midfielder, creative midfielder, ended up as a striker for Mamelodi Sundowns. But now pretty much a versatile player, now playing fullback or wing back from time to time. He has matured, all-round player.
Daniels clipping that upfield to Kutumela. Tlolani's pass though is cut out, who played that into the path of Dalen Klaasen. Just didn't have the legs to get there first. Uncompromising Nazir Ali pumped that one forward. Back with Maritzburg United. Julius Mosiameri. Back with Maritzburg United. Julius Mosiameri. Klaasen and Buchanan. Now it's out with Dan Morgan, the New Zealander. Tlolani. Lekwa was very quick.
So far, you can tell the intentions from Maritzburg, because more of the attacks now coming on that right-hand side where Shandu is operating, Dylan Klaasen, and there's Tabiso Kutumela. They've made inroads on that side. But I like the structure. They're sticking to the midfield. Try and get midfield from home. That's critical for you to do.
That one from Daniels a little too long for Tlolani. Their cup game through Thabo Mnyamane, scoring against his former team. But as far as the league goes, Brian, they now haven't scored in the DStv Premiership for over 8 hours. So the drought's pretty lengthy now. And it will be a concern. I'm guessing it has been a concern.
You mean TTM?
TTM, sorry.